Puppy. Hi, puppy.
Hello, welcome to Dog Hugs. Look who we got.
Hi, everybody.
We got a special guest today already, Robbie.
Hello.
That's right.
We do. Hi, Atlas.
Yeah, that's right. Atlas says woof.
Hazel's been sneezing, so Atlas is sneezing now. Choo!
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, in preparation for today's show, I've been doing some binge watching. In fact, I love going back and watching some great TV shows. I've been binge watching The Sopranos, which Geraldine, I think
So
you
have
taught.
I.
Really? Which I think you've taught me is like one of the most, if not the most binge watched show on TV.
Oh, wow.
I think currently it's number 2, being binge watched during COVID, during the lockdown.
And what's the other one?
I don't remember because I was only looking for Sopranos.
Okay.
I really don't.
I've also been
honestly
watching the great British baking show with my
I've heard
girlfriend
a lot
Jen.
about that.
So it's a super lot of fun. Yeah.
And Italians love to eat. They
there
love
you
to
go.
bake.
Yeah.
Right?
Robbie, have you been binge watching?
Yes,
About
I've
Barney
binge
the dinosaur, right?
Right now, we're watching some show with Baby JJ on it, so I can sing all of Baby JJ's songs. I really don't recommend adults have to watch Baby JJ for thousands of hours.
You are quite a trooper.
You
All right,
are.
Let's
you really
get
are.
Spider started here. Hey, Spider, go get your treat ball. Go get it, buddy. Treat ball.
So, while
Yeah.
Spider gets started, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah, we're going to go over from the laundry room, the laundry lounge,
The laundry
over to the studio. And if we're lucky, we're going to get Spider.
We're actually going to show Spider going from his platform one to the other. Spider's learning to be mentally challenged more because obviously it helps dogs during coronavirus lockdown with their parents having more mental challenges, especially dachshunds. And while Larry displays some of his treat ball work, which he just retrieved his treat ball from the other side of the room, we're trying to work him mentally because he's such a smart dog. He has to have a job, and if you don't give him one, he goes and finds one himself.
So I don't know anything about dachshunds, really. Are they like really intelligent, like poodles, where if you don't give them something to do, they're going to chew your shoes?
Oh, yes. They're too smart. They are very independent. They are what I'll call, we'll go into it in a minute, actually. We're going to dive into that soon. And it'll be really fun. But I have a joke for you guys if you're ready.
I'm ready.
And this is hilarious.
Are we supposed to say knock knock?
Not a knock knock joke yet.
Okay.
So why did the cowboy get a dachshund?
I don't know. Why did the cowboy get a dachshund, Geraldine?
Because someone told him to get along, little doggy. But which leads us into some really funny stuff today.
Well, we have a real expert of dachshunds with us today. You may know him for playing Bobby Bacalala on The Sopranos or Detective Anthony Abetamarco on Blue Bloods. And if you love The Sopranos, Steve Schirripa is co-host of Talking Sopranos with his former castmate Michael Imperioli. Steve's also a producer and host of 2 investigation discovery series, Karma's a Bitch and Nothing Personal. Steve Schirripa has appeared on The Tonight Show more than 40 times. And he's also the author of many books, including A Goomba's Guide to Life, A Goomba's Guide to Love. You see a pattern here? The Goomba Diet, and Big Daddy's Rules, Raising Daughters is Tougher Than I Look. Well, welcome to Dog Hugs, Steve Schirripa.
Hey, how are you guys?
And
All
Willie.
Right, great to see you.
This is Willie the Wiener
Hi,
Dog.
Willie.
Willie the Wiener of Wall Street. He's about 1 year old. Say hello, Willie.
Hey, Willie.
He's so cute. Hi, Willie. What a beautiful boy. What a sweetheart. I love his
He's too smart for his own good.
program.
Doxies are that way, aren't they?
really
Geraldine,
smart.
I know you've got some real good observations around Doxies.
You know, my
Yeah.
wife, she taught him. I'm getting a little feedback there, Larry.
Oh, okay, see
You
if
know?
I can help you out.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
You know, my wife has taught him each toy in his toy box, and she'll say, "Go get the fox, go get the squirrel." One time it's amazing to me. She said to him the other day, "Go get the baseball," and he went through this stuff and got the baseball. I mean, he really is. He's got a hell of a personality. He's a handful, but he's a good boy. He was born in California. He lives part of the time in New York City when I'm back there shooting blue blood. So he's bi-coastal.
He's bi-coastal. He is adorable. And yes, dachshunds are very smart, as you have witnessed. They are as smart as a border collie. They're brilliant, and I call it one and done, because if you don't do it right the first time, you got to spend a hell of a lot of time undoing it to redo it if you've done it wrong. So your wife is brilliant by giving him so many jobs and so many ways to use his mental capacity to the limit.
Yeah, she's good. This is we've had two other ones. We had them for 16 to 17 years. One's 17, one's 16. Bobby and Carly, and they passed away. And then we took care of her dad's dog, and he lived to be 17. And he passed away last, about 15 months ago. And then Willie came, and so we like dachshunds. They're clowns. They have their own personality. I mean, from the way they sleep upside down, and say hello, be a good boy. He got his new shirt. He's got footballs, and he doesn't mind being dressed up. Be a good boy.
He's so cute.
Well, we noticed you've got this wonderful picture of him in his Yankees jersey here. So Yankees, not Mets, right?
Yeah, we're Yankee fans. I don't hate the Mets, but we're Yankee fans. My wife's a bigger fan than me, and Willie, he has a clothes closet that I envy. Believe me, he's got more clothes than me, Willie. He's got outfits. He's got winter outfits, summer outfits. He's got hats.
I do believe that Doxies are the mobster of the dog breed.
Really?
They are. They have that mentality. They're so smart. They don't let things go. Now, do they? Because they remember the first time.
Yeah, he wants what he
they're
wants.
very independent.
And he's very okay. You're gonna put him down for a second. And he's very vocal. He'll tell you when he wants to play. He'll tell you what he wants, when he wants it, when he wants to eat. It's almost like he could talk. It's pretty amazing.
It is. And don't they, in their eyes, when you look at them, when you say you come home from a little short trip, or maybe they napped and they woke up, don't they look at you and they're right out of their face, this like, how you doing? All right.
Am I feeding back on you here, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that better? Or still feeding back on you?
I think that's better.
Okay.
I still hear it, but it's okay.
Okay.
We're working towards fixing that.
So let's talk about, you've played cops for many years. You played robbers for many years. Here you are on Blue Bloods. And of course, we also loved you, in your role for many years on The Sopranos. What's it like playing cops? What's it like playing robbers? Is there a difference? Is there similarities?
Well, they say there's a fine line between cops and isn't there a fine line between cops and gangsters? I don't know. But I lived in Las Vegas like Geraldine did for many years. I moved there in 1980. And I worked all around town. I worked for Paul Anka. I was a bouncer. I worked at the nightclubs, and then I worked at the Riviera Hotel. And I was the entertainment director for many years. And then I got into the acting. And I moved back to New York. I was on The Sopranos. And From there, I was on another show with Molly Ringwald called Secret Life of the American Teenager.
For many years, yes.
Yeah, and that was a great show. Shailene Woodley, who's a big star now. You see her in all kinds of stuff.
Amazing.
And she was just 16, 17 at the time. And then I've been lucky enough to be on Blue Bloods the last 5 years. And we're supposed to be starting up in September. So I'll be heading back to New York, and hopefully that'll all work out, for the 11th season of the show.
Bravo.
It's
Congratulations.
So here you are in Las Vegas as the director of entertainment at which place? The Riviera?
Riviera.
And you get cast as an extra in the movie Casino, directed by Martin Scorsese.
It was kind of an extra. I auditioned. I had a few lines, and that's how I got my SAG card. But basically, what they cut, basically an extra. I did have a few lines. If you put your remote on, slow motion and turn the volume up, you could hear me say a couple of lines. But I had done a few things before that,
Yeah.
I had done a few things. It was just a hobby. It was something I enjoyed doing. And I went to New York for a wedding. I auditioned for The Sopranos, and I got it. And, I kept my job at the hotel the first year. And I commuted back and forth. I paid my own way.
Wow.
I invested in myself.
Yeah,
and then the following year, they made me a series regular, and they moved us back to New York. And I've been there, and I have a place out here in California also.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here when I'm not working, and it's all worked out. So far, so good. And now the podcast, which I love doing, with Michael Imperioli, Talking Sopranos. It's on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. We just hit over.
Fantastic.
We heard. Thank you. We heard over 3.5 million downloads.
Bravo.
Love it. Oh, fantastic. I love reliving with you guys actually telling the tidbit, like the minute details that we would never know without you sharing. And that is it's amazing.
We're going to play a little. We'll play a little promo from Talking Sopranos right now.
There's my boy. You never met Willie. Say hello to Uncle Michael.
He loves you. Look at that.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Say hello. Look, he's looking at you, Mike. Say hello. Good boy.
Hi, Willie. How are you?
All right.
You can see Michael's not that much of a dog fan.
He's a good sport, though.
It's not that he doesn't like dogs. He's allergic to dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not that at all. But
are you trying to convince him to get a hypoallergenic dog, or is he's just going to do his own thing?
He's going to do his own thing.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to dogs and cats, actually, and I have been able to, over the years, build up a tolerance, but it is not easy. So I totally understand it.
Really? Wow.
I think being a dog trainer is what actually helped me build up that tolerance.
Yeah,
yes.
I wasn't that, I had a dog growing up, but I wasn't that big a dog fan. And then we got a couple of golden retrievers. Once my wife, Laura, who's always had dogs her whole life, Springer Spaniels, and her dad used to train dogs. And
wow.
So we had, since we've been together, which is a long time, we've had dogs, and I get a kick out of them. She does the heavy lifting, she does the hard work. I'm just there for the kind of fun stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
Steve, do you have a favorite? Oh, go ahead, Larry.
Yeah. Back to The Sopranos for a moment. Steve, your character, Bobby, has one of the best death scenes in television history. What was it like getting shot up, having all this stuff placed on your body? And
I don't know if people know that when you get shot on TV or in a movie, they put all these blood squibs on you, and so they're stuck everywhere, and then it runs down your leg, and it's almost like fireworks.
Yeah.
And there's somebody somewhere off to the side that at the proper moment is going to shoot them off. And so you feel it, you feel it in you. It's kind of odd at first. And then when you do, when you have it done, you're used to it a little bit, and it gets all sticky and crappy. And then
you got to reset for the next take. Do you remember how many takes you did of that?
Maybe 3 or 4.
Quite a few. Like hot dog slobber.
Did you have welts afterwards on your body? No, it's not that bad.
We actually did it. It was a snowy day. It was Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It was in a real train store in New York, in Long Island.
Yeah.
And we did it over 2 days. It was one day, and then the second day was the stuntman falling into the. There was only 2 train sets. So you had to really know what you were doing. And then you see me after it was down, you see me pop up, but after a while on the show, the way they killed you off was kind of a badge of honor. If they gave you a crappy send off,
right.
That was no good. Some people just faded away. You said, what happened to that guy?
Yeah.
But some people, I think mine was a good one. I think the Ralphie character, when they put his head in the bowling ball bag, that was a good one. I think Michael Imperioli's was a good one. There were some good ones, really good ones. Of course, a very sad one. The Adriana, you don't see how she got killed, but you know what happened there, But listen, I haven't watched the show in 20 years. And so when we were approached to do this, the pandemic started. And first we said, I'm in no mood, like everyone else in the world. We were depressed. And I was in an apartment in New York City, and I said, I'm not going to. I don't think this is a good idea. Who gives a crap about a TV show when the world's falling apart? But then people, it had been announced, so people were asking us on social media, we can really use this. Are we watching the show? And so we decided to do it, and it's become a really big hit. And a lot of people thank us for that hour and a half, 2 hours a week we try to be funny and rewatch the show, and a lot of people are rewatching the show with us. I discover new stuff every show, and Michael wrote 5 episodes. So so he knows everything. I look at him more like a fan. He analyzes more. He knows what this song means or that picture.
So, folks, check out Talking Sopranos, Steve and Michael's great podcast. They follow along with, I think you do in every episode?
Yes, every episode. We're up to...
Every episode. It's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Monday will be the great Lorraine Bracco. Will be on.
Wow.
And, we have a lot of guests, a lot of cast, directors, producers. Lorraine Bracco will be on this Monday, episode 19.
So talking about Lorraine Bracco, the therapist on the show, you shed some light on therapy. The show shed some light on therapy, maybe demystified it for folks, maybe didn't make it so secretive.
I think you're right. They won many awards from the Association of Psychiatrists and Therapists, and I think,
and rightly so.
Yeah, I think it was portrayed very realistic. I think the writing, obviously, they were consulting because to get the language down, and the terms down. And I think it was great. And I appreciate it more now than I did 20 years ago. I'm older now. I understand it more. And I think those things are great. In the past, I was like, let's get to the guys, but now I enjoy it very much,
Yeah. So we've got a couple of guest questions here or from our audience, and ask Steve if he has more books coming out. The Goomba books are hysterical. Read them and listen to the audio recordings.
Hi, Raina. Thank you, Raina.
Raina, there's my old pal Raina. I am in the process of we are in the process of turning the Talking Sopranos podcast into a book.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be really exciting.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
with transcripts from the book, from the podcast, also new questions, new behind the scenes stuff, new stories. There's no one, there was a lot of podcasts out there about The Sopranos, but not from anyone who was actually there.
There you go.
It was actually a soprano on The Sopranos.
So now you got two people who were there, and we're telling you stories and things that happened. Everything's 1,000% true. Michael Imperioli tells a story. In one of the seasons, they had to throw a body off a cliff, him and Jim Gandolfini, Tony Soprano. And it was taking a long time to light it. So between takes, they went into their trailer and got drunk, very drunk. They drank a bottle of wild turkey, the two of them.
Oh, Lord.
And, 3 hours later, they had to complete the scene, and they chained their legs. Production changed their legs to the tree so they wouldn't fall off the cliff. That's a true story.
I believe it.
Oh, man.
It has to be a tough thing as an actor to actually do something that you as yourself would never do. It has to be hard. I know there's a movie out there where somebody actually discussed their scene, how they had to hit somebody that in the movie was mentally challenged, and it made them cry before they actually played out the scene.
Sure, absolutely.
And it's just not natural for them. So
I mean, and probably most of it isn't natural. Most things,
of course.
Even the way you got to walk or stand, or you're in weird positions, and it's all kinds of stuff, but when it's good, when the acting's good, and when you're working with someone that you like and the scene goes well, that's what works. That's when you go, wow, this was good stuff, and it's not always good stuff. The Soprano was superb writing. Blue Bloods is superb writing. I've been very lucky. I've also done stuff that, you go, how the hell am I going to make this sound for real?
Right.
I hear that. So what drew you to acting? I mean, a kid growing up in Brooklyn. I mean, what?
I don't know, Larry. I never had any aspirations. I didn't act in junior high or high school. I never wanted to be in front of a crowd, nothing like that. I just kind of got the bug. I mean, somebody put one of the comics that I worked with in Vegas put me in one of his little short films. And I kind of got the bug, I honestly, I know it sounds cliche, but I kind of got it right there, and I enjoyed it,
Yeah, well, and it's so fortunate.
It's awesome.
And I've been very lucky. Listen, there's so much luck involved here, Let's not kid ourselves. I'm sure there's plenty of great actors, unfortunately, attending bar somewhere, but
it's true. Yeah. Yes, you have been fortunate, and if the Dodgers had not left Brooklyn, you might have grown up a Brooklyn Dodgers fan rather than a New York Yankees fan.
Maybe.
Anyhow, but the guy who hired Jackie Robinson to break the color barrier in baseball, Branch Rickey, said, "Luck is a residue of design." So, Steve, I think how I translate that is, Steve, if you hadn't had the goods, you might have been a one and done, but
sure. And listen, I worked very hard. I had a great person started me off named Ray Favero in Las Vegas. He was a local casting director and teacher, and he would actually come up to my office at the Riviera and work on scenes with me. And the audition for The Sopranos, when I would close my office door and we would work. And he was a very big help to me. And then I worked with someone else all during the Soprano years, and I still work with someone. I work with a woman named Joanna Bexon, who's wonderful, and I go over my Blue Blood stuff with her, or if I audition for something else, and she's been a tremendous help to me.
We all need coaches. If
I believe so. You
if
know?
we're a pro athlete, if we're a
Absolutely.
performer, if we're in the world of dogs,
Yeah, Jim Gandolfini had an acting coach the entire time of The Sopranos.
Wow.
You know,
And he was
Bravo.
just unbelievable.
Yeah.
brilliant,
Breathtaking actor.
great guy, brilliant actor.
Miss him very much.
Another love of yours is food. And your cookbook, The Goomba Diet, large and loving it. And plus, you've even had a food line, Uncle Steve's
Oh, we had Uncle
Italian
Steve.
Italian
Unfortunately, we went out of business. We had,
Yeah.
And
had
we're
it.
so sad about that.
Yeah, we had an organic pasta sauce. We were in 3,000 stores at one time.
Bravo.
It's the typical story of growing too fast.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen, and I'm not just saying this. I never ate jar sauce before we were in business. And it is the best jar sauce. I have a handful of jars left. We still use it in the house. It's my mother's recipe.
I'm gonna beg for one.
And we made it organic, and we made it healthy, and it was really good. It's just one of those things, very competitive, and
it's tough.
yeah. But
it's as
we
tough
did
as
well. We did well, and
it's as tough as the entertainment business.
you know what, Larry? But as I get older, I think just about everything is tough. What's not tough?
It is. Everything's tough. Everything
That
gotta
is a
work
piece
hard.
of wisdom. Yeah.
You got to work hard. You got to work hard. You got to be prepared. A lot of people have ideas. We're going to do this. Someday I'm going to do that. You got to do it. You can't just talk about doing it. You got to do
Right.
it.
And it's always there's something about it that's hard. There's something you're not gonna like, but
Absolutely.
that's what you get through to get to that prize.
I mean, you guys,
it's worth the fight.
you guys have a successful show here.
Thank you.
You could have talked about doing it. Someday we're going to do this. And you know what I want to do someday? You're doing it. You got a lot of viewers. You're very successful.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's the thing. I want to be an actor. Well, what are you doing about it? You get a headshot. You're an actor. That's not how it works.
So, Steve, I have a quick question because I don't know how many people have asked you this, but what's it like to act in a fat suit? I mean, you're having to memorize lines, memorize what you're doing, follow directions, and then you're wearing a fat suit that cannot be comfortable. You must have been sweating your tail off. Seriously.
Yeah, well, what happened was when I got cast in the show, I got the script and there was all kinds of fat jokes. You're a calzone with legs. You should consider eating salads. Calling me a blimp, and I said,
right.
I'm not that much fatter than Jim in real life. I said, this doesn't make sense to me. I actually thought maybe they cast a different person, the wrong person. So then they said, you got to come in and wear a fat suit. So I got fitted. So the first 2 seasons, I wore this tremendous fat suit, which now you look at it, it looks ridiculous.
It does, actually.
It's so big, and I got a little head.
Because you're not fat here.
Yeah.
You're only fat here.
But, it worked. And
it worked, right.
I never told anyone until after the show was over that I wore the suit. I never told anyone. And I would scratch it and kind of.
Nice.
Uncle Junior would say, use that belly. Use it. Use that belly in the scene.
That's hilarious.
It was okay. And I guess by season 4, I got fat enough on my own. They said I didn't.
There you go. all that gravy.
Steve, what do you hear about restarting production?
There was a lot of rules. I understand there has to be medical staff on set, and between the unions and all kinds of stuff, and they're trying to work it out. And there's a little delay. Usually, we would be back at work in July.
Yeah.
We would have been working 2 weeks ago, but they're talking September. I hope we get all our episodes in and everyone's safe. And I'm going to go back. I got a quarantine for 2 weeks.
Oh,
where
do you do that in New York?
In New York, I have an apartment in New York, so I'll leave here with plenty of time to quarantine and make sure that I'm doing my part to be, everyone's safe and hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah. And how's your family during all of this?
Okay, my daughters were here. They went back, and my wife's here with me and Willie. We're doing okay.
Right
Do y'all
on.
still like each other together?
Oh,
And all these,
absolutely.
does Willie still like all y'all?
We didn't have any problems.
Good.
You know, I mean, I'm
good.
hearing people 3 weeks they're getting divorced, and the problems go much deeper than if you can't be with your wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend for 3 weeks. There's something wrong.
Hey.
Right. I tell my hubby every day, I'm so glad I have you in my foxhole. Can't think of anybody better to be in the foxhole with. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's it. You know, so far so good.
Yeah, Steve, as you know, we love to give shelter shout outs on this show. And I know that there's some shelters that are near and dear to you as well.
Yes.
Who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'm gonna give a shout out, and hold on, because I gave it to Geraldine. This is my wife's, and it is.
I'll help you out here, Steve.
Help me out.
Okay, Stars Rescue.
PupStarsRescue. It's a nonprofit in New York City.
Yeah,
and
very nice.
It's all animals. It's not just dogs. It's cats and rabbits and bunnies. We also we have a bunny also in New York City.
Oh.
His name is Paul.
Paul the bunny.
Paul the bunny.
What would
That's really nice.
People names, I love it.
Polly.
You should change it to Polly Walnuts.
Yeah.
Speaking of Polly Walnuts, I got a shot here that I got to show the folks. Polly Walnuts. Here we go. Bert and Ernie. Oh my gosh, that is a classic.
I love it.
Straight out of Central Casting, you guys are.
How many times do you get a chance to work with the Muppets? You know, that's the one thing with the acting and stuff. You do things that you can't even imagine you would do. You know, I've also worked with Elmo.
Bravo.
And I also,
Elmo.
Me and Tony were in a Muppets Christmas movie where we work with the rat. I don't know if it's Ratso, we work with the rat.
Yeah, Ratso.
You know, the thing is, when you work with the puppets, after a little bit, you forget. You just look them in the eye, just like you're acting. You forget that there's a guy talking. You forget all about it.
They are so good,
Yes.
Steve. I've had the honor of actually writing for the Muppets in the past.
Have you? Brilliant.
Yeah, and
brilliant.
I hope to work with Rolf one day.
Rolf, yeah.
I do. I hope to train Rolf one day.
Oh, train him. That would be a great thing. Yeah,
that's funny.
Well, Steve, as you know, this show is a lot about gratitude. And is there somebody in your life or in the world who you'd love to share some gratitude with or give a blessing to? Anybody?
You know, my family, you know, my wife, my two daughters, I'm happiest when I'm with them. You know, as long as they're safe and I'm with them, everything's okay.
Bravo. Well, Steve
Wonderful.
Schirripa, it is really wonderful having you on Dog Hugs today.
Very nice talking to you guys, and meeting you in person. I mean, someday maybe we could meet in person. Willie wants to say goodbye.
Okay, let's say goodbye.
Definitely.
To Willie
Bring back Willie.
Come on,
Make sure
Willie.
you follow Willie on his Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Willie of Wall Street.
Willie the Weenie of Wall Street.
Very good.
And Geraldine and Larry. Come on.
All right.
Be a good boy.
Take
All
care,
right.
Steve. Be a good boy. See you, Steve. See you, Willie. Bye.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Fantastic. Oh, fantastic.
I know, wasn't that great?
Yeah, what a treat.
There's my little Atlas.
Yeah, and Steve's got Willie and Robbie's got Atlas here.
True.
I love it.
Great.
I can't. Well, I have to say, Atlas saw the pictures of him with Bert and Ernie and just kept going, Elmo, so he knows his Muppets. Very excited.
Sweet.
Oh, that is so great. That is.
My heart.
He really knows. Oh, that is wonderful.
He still sees him on the screen down there.
Shelter shout outs for us today. Geraldine, who you got today for your shelter shout out?
So I'm all shouting out to Kansas City Pet Project. Love the work that they're doing in our community during times like these. really impressive. I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of all rescues, but I'm going to shout out straight to KCPP today.
Nice. KCPP. And who does Atlas have today, Robbie?
Atlas is all about the Alley Cat
Atlas
Rescue
is
in
on mute.
Alexandria
Oh, here he
Bay,
is. He's
New
back.
York.
We love Alley Cat Rescue.
Very
Alley
good.
Cat Rescue.
Very good. All right. And I'm going with Pet Orphans because, you know, Spider and I celebrated our 5th year being together. It was just such
Super
a great
five.
milestone. What a blessing. And
What a blessing. And he's doing
now-
so great. Have I heard a bark yet today?
A little
Have I
bit.
bark
A
yet
little
today?
bit. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you for encouraging
Spider.
that.
I'm so proud of him, though. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. By the way, here's a couple of comments that we got to we didn't get to put on screen yet. And we've got,
Willie.
Thomas Mitchell. I work with Shelby Humane Society in Alabama.
Thank you, Thomas.
Brilliant work
Thank
there. Yeah. And love him. I'm saying you're loving Willie or you're loving Atlas, Thomas.
Loving everybody.
yeah.
I think he's
And,
loving. They're loving Willie.
7-11. Like that name.
I love
What a
that
great
name.
question. Yeah, that's really wonderful. Gratitude, blessings.
So my gratitude today is to my friend Raina, who introduced me to Steve, which is such a blessing. She's been a blessing in my life the last few years, a great friend, and I really appreciate her. So thank you for the introduction for him to join in our conversation. I really appreciate
that's
it.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Raina.
Thomas is saying both. What was the question? Willie or Atlas? Both.
So sweet.
Gratitude today, Robbie?
Robbie, she's...
I had to mute because Atlas is growling at everyone right now. So
Yeah.
my
Well, Spider's
gratitude
not helping him.
honestly goes to our veterinarian, Dr. Nino at Berry Animal Hospital. We had Murray there for an emergency visit yesterday. He's got infected ears. I've got 2 animals going today for their annuals. And with everything, that I had to go through with Henrietta, they have always been there for me. So, and we're doing curbside pickup still, which I absolutely love. So,
so great.
Shout out is to Dr. Nino.
Well,
Thank you, Dr. Nino.
Robbie, you've inspired me. I'm going to give a big shout out to my veterinarian as well.
Nice.
When we're going to be visiting her on Sunday. When I first adopted Spider, he was the dog who didn't get adopted. Met him on one of my shelter dog film sets at Pet Orphans. He was the dog who didn't get adopted. I decided I was up for a challenge. And at the beginning could barely touch him. Our veterinarian needed 3 technicians just to examine him. Now we perform dog tricks in the waiting room. So I don't know that we're going to get to perform we'll perform dog tricks curbside tomorrow, I think.
Curbside,
Sunday.
curbside.
Yes.
If nothing else, videotape his trick and play it curbside.
That's great. Well, you guys have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you next week on Dog Hugs. Great weekend to you, Robbie and Geraldine. Thanks so much. Big hugs, everybody. Bye.
Bye.